Welcome back. My name's James Johnson, and this is my lovely mother, LaDonna.
Hi.
We've read the first 5 books of the Song of Ice and Fire series, seen the first 7 seasons, and we are going to premiere the 8th season today. So we're trying to knock out a bunch of the last things we want to say before this all ends. And man, what a feeling. It's both exhilarating and numbing, disappointing, lovely, so many wonderful things.
And thanks for being on our journey with us.
Yes, so much. Thank you, guys. This has been a big part of our lives. All right, so we're going to start with this particular video, which is called Noble Dishonor. So, and apologies if I seem a little rushed. A lot's going on right now. So, many times in this story, up to the point we find ourselves now, there have been instances where people have done dishonorable things for good reasons. And what is honor if it is it doesn't combine with what your goal is? If you have to be honorable, but you sacrifice your goal for it, what does that mean to be honorable? So we're going to give a couple of examples where this has happened, and there are many. So, mind if I just go straight down this?
No.
One example is Jaime killing the Mad King. We view Jaime from the very beginning, based on the rumors of other people, that he did a bad thing. He killed his own king. He dishonored himself and his family and the king's guard. But we find out in the scene with him and Brienne that he did it because he was trying to save everyone. His father, too, but also everyone at King's Landing. There's wildfire all over King's Landing, and the king was going to kill everybody. Was literally going mad, had killed other people. This is a noble dishonor, or an ignoble honor. So that's one example. Another example that we get is Arthur Dayne and Ned Stark and Howland Reed. We have the scene where Bran watches Ned fight Arthur Dayne. He's better than my father, far better, but he won. I've heard this. I've heard the story 1,000 times, and it ends up Howland Reed stabbing Arthur Dayne in the neck in order to win that battle when Ned was about to die.
In the
back, one way or another. There's another example with Jaime and Ned. Jaime is fighting Ned, and this is in the TV show, not the books. If I recall correctly, Ned's horse fell on him in the books. But in the TV show, Jaime and Ned fight, and one of Jaime's soldiers stabs Ned in the calf. And Jaime gets mad and punches the guy because that's not honorable. And Jaime had a conversation with his dad where his dad said, well, why is he still alive? Well, it wasn't clean to kill him, meaning it wasn't honorable to have just killed him then. And his dad scoffs as if that's an absurdity. It also goes to the Red Wedding and killing a family, an entire family at a wedding, which is a special situation, etc. And Tywin says, why should many people die? Why should it be wrong to kill people at a wedding when many people will die if we go to war? Another one is with Jon heading to kill Mance. When Jon leaves the wall in order to negotiate with Mance, but that's a guise, a facade, because Jon's real goal is to kill Mance. And Mance catches him on it, and Mance specifically says, are you capable of that, Jon Snow, killing a man in his own tent when he's just offered you peace?
That's important.
It's extremely important. My mom also wants to know, which is true, that when Jon fights, my mom and I have done both of these. Don't think that this is all me. So when Jon is fighting Carl Tanner in Craster's Keep, the girl stabs Carl Tanner in the back. Carl Tanner turns around and Jon stabs him through the throat.
From the back.
From the back. That's a noble dishonor. Not that Carl Tanner fought with honor. And this goes back to Bronn fighting the guy fighting in the trial by combat for Tyrion at the Eyrie. You don't fight with honor. No, he did. And that goes to Rickard Karstark, who in one of Bran's visions looks down at Ned, who's leaving for the Eyrie to be raised by Jon Arryn, and he says, don't fight, but if you have to fight, win. If you have to fight, win.
Be honorable, but cheat if you have to, if it looks like you're going to die.
So our proposal based on all this is that the final battle, the final situation, the culmination of all this will require those that we believe are in the right to do wrong to achieve the right goals. And now we're going into
I
more.
think they call that the ends justify the means.
Exactly. But do they? And it goes back to John saying, but if everybody starts lying, then words stop meaning anything. So at what point does dishonor become the norm and taint everything?
I'll get that.
Thank you. So I'm going to continue. We got the guest at the
Words
door.
are wind.
Words are wind. So I apologize. I didn't expect somebody to be answering the door right now, and we are on a time crunch, and there's a lot going on in our lives right now. So John challenges 2 times. Somebody is challenged the old way, which would be to end a war the old way, Battle of Champions. And we saw Dani actually do that outside of Marine when she has the rider come out from Marine, and she sends her champion Dario Naharis to fight him. So that's one example. We also can talk about Robb Stark, when he captures Jaime. Jaime, you should be super quiet right now. Cool, thank you. Jaime tells Robb, we can end this right now, you and me versus each other. And Robb says, I don't know if I'd win that, but so he denies him that option. John does the exact same thing to Ramsay. We could end this the old way. I don't know if I could be, from what I've heard, you're the best swordsman that ever lived. Maybe you are, maybe you're not. I don't know if I can defeat you, but I know my army will defeat your army. And there's been negotiation.
And then Ramsay does it to John at the end when the odds are against him.
He absolutely does. So the old, and our way is the old way, is what Bran said in the very first episode. We've had multiple times where John specifically has gone to an enemy's camp in order to negotiate. He's done it multiple times. If John, and I think it's inevitable that our kings, queens will have a negotiation period. You need to hold up. I love you. A negotiation period for our head people to discuss potential negotiation terms with the Night's King. Long story short, we end up with an old way. I will fight you for the end of this. And I'm going to leave out all the potential theories that we have for how this happens precisely. But we're talking about a jousting match on dragons, in my opinion. And this is the final battle. Our way is the old way, 1-on-1, and the old way. Night's King, how old is he? If he lives by code, it would be the old code, a lawful code. And in order to win this battle, there will have to be a noble dishonor, betrayal of honor for the greater good. If you have to fight, win. And we've got a bunch of crazy theories about this. Theon is an archer. We've had the big scorpions used, the giant crossbow, basically, to try to shoot the dragon. If they put an obsidian dagger on it, that may help as well. And this goes even further. The noble dishonor, in that if the Night's King's mind still exists at the final battle, what I'm talking about, then Bran will have to destroy that mind, which means there's an additional person fighting against the Night King in this alleged 1-on-1 battle. The real grand theory is that there will be a required noble dishonor at the end of this. We have particular opinions of how that might happen, and I'm not sure my mom agrees with everything I just stated. Also, if Theon were to do that, that ties back to the Hobbit and the guy who shoots the dragon at Dale. I can't remember his name off the top of my head. But noble dishonor is a big thing. So is the negotiations. If you have to fight, win.
I only have a couple more things to add. Ned betrayed honor twice, and it just about killed him. I mean, he did it when he had to lie about John. And if Dany's his twin, Dany. You don't have to believe in that theory, but definitely John. And he did it when he had to betray himself and save his girls. And so that is a noble dishonor. And if you want to call it something...
Let me add to that. He outright, particularly right before he died, he gave up his honorable reputation by saying that he had done a betrayal of Robert Baratheon, treason, in order to save his children.
That's exactly right. And then they were going to send him to the wall. So, and if I had to use 2 words to describe this, Cheat death.
Cheat death, which
And
is what
if the
which
Night
is what
King is an icon,
which is
of
what
death,
Arya did when she had I have 3 names, and she named Jack and Hagar, who is one of the many faces of death.
And he said, "Unname me."
Unname me.
Don't cheat death.
And actually, he says, "A girl." What does he say? A
Girl has no honor.
And she kind of.
She went, "I don't care."
I mean, is it obvious that this is headed that way?
I think it's part of the themes.
Anything you want to add?
Nope.
You guys rock. We love you.